Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Live with me, myself, Mr. Adam Gray, and Shreyas Singh. Now, we all hate international breaks. We all hate when it's a little bit stale and there's nothing to talk about. But fortunate enough, we've just had some news breaking just as we are going live. And I will put the topics on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. ONANA on loan to, I can't even say the club's name, Trabzonspor. Is that how we say it? Shreyas, you might be best to pronounce that. Is that
Trabzonspor?
Trabzonspor. So that's David Ornstein has literally just announced that this deal has been agreed. So ONANA going out on loan. You can all celebrate, get your prosecco out, whatever your choice of poison is. We've also got updates on Cunha and Mason Mount ahead of the Manchester derby. United to return for Belieber next season. How likely can we make that move? And also the goal of the month, clutching at straws. We'll talk about that and why we've been struggling a little bit in front of goal. And also we've got something interactive towards the end as well. So what more could you possibly want on a Saturday night? Let me get this update coming in from David Ornstein, the GOAT. He has just literally put, Trabzonspor negotiates loan deal for Onana without fee or option to buy. He's open to joining them now, and he's waiting to review contracts for the proposed move. This from David Ornstein, and Romano reported this before as well, earlier on in the day. But yeah, he's open to joining the club, waiting to review contracts, and should be... the Trabzonspor want the 29-year-old goalkeeper available for the next game, which is Fenerbahce on September the 14th. So hopefully that'll go through, but no fee or buy option or anything. So just a straight loan move. How are we feeling, lads, about that? It's not a buy move. That would be the holy grail of negotiations if he was going. But this had to happen, Adam, didn't it, given the current goalkeeper situation?
Oh, given what's happened, and I know there's been reports there recently about the whole contract situation with him as well.
Yeah.
I think that's probably it's annoyed the manager a lot. But I'm glad they've decided they've gotten Layman's. I'm always weird about pronunciations.
I was going to say, careful with the late, because that sounds like the Arsenal goalkeeper. Yeah, it's Layman. Yeah, it's Le Mans, right? Le Mans.
Yeah, Le Mans.
Le Mans. It sounds it's like a posh way of saying lemons. Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Le
Okay.
Mans. That's the way I say it. Anyway.
But we've gotten him in, and I'm glad that they decided, okay, Bayern there is going to be the second choice. What I presume, that's what's being kind of reported as well, that he's ahead of Onana in the pecking order. And obviously Onana hasn't liked this, but the Turkish, what do you call it, transfer window's open that bit longer. So he didn't have really much options left. Like, potentially he wouldn't even be on the bench for us. And like, I suppose he's a player that wants to start, expects to start. And they've come in with the offer. I'm surprised, actually. I genuinely thought we wouldn't have much pickers because, like, realistically, he's regressed in everything. Even his strengths, the reason we signed him, we haven't really seen that.
Yeah.
And, like, the goals he's given up, and easily he's caught... I know he cost us that Champions League run anyway from the groups.
Yeah.
That was a year or two ago. And then just throughout, he's constantly made mistakes. Like Grimsby, he basically threw the ball into the back of the net as well. Mm-hmm. So, like, we have to be ruthless. And I know, like, especially with the whole bomb squad thing, we got rid of a few of them are gone on loan. Just get them out of the club. And I nearly associate him with them now. So, look, I'm glad it's happening. And it's going to come to, I presume, contract talks. So we'll not get ahead of ourselves. He's kind of agreed to go, but they have to discuss probably the ins and outs of contracts. And given how he is, what's he expecting, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully he'll be out and then hopefully out the door next summer.
It makes you question it, doesn't it, Shrey? As if the quote-unquote bomb squad, some of the players that have been involved in that, what squad is Onana in? Because he's been dropping absolute stinkers on the pitch consistently for a long, long time now. I have to say that comment from Rene is absolutely hilarious. Saying, tears in my eyes, we are finally free of the Cameroonian Carriers and Mr. Bean. I don't know who's Mr. Bean. I don't know who that is. The Cameroonian Carriers, I know who it is, but I'm just trying to think who Mr. Bean is. Can we speculate? I don't know. Who else have we got rid of? Is it Sancho maybe is going for Mr. Bean?
Or is it Dalot's injured?
Dalot's injured? I don't know. It could be a number. That's the thing. It could be a number of players, genuinely, couldn't it? But on this goalkeeper situation, would it actually surprise you, though, Shreyas, if he turned around, given almost his level of arrogance at times, where he's, I remember him being questioned about the mistakes he's been making and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, you think I've turned around and, been the worst goalkeeper, from the best goalkeeper in the world to the worst goalkeeper and like that? No, that's not happened. And everyone sat there at the time listening to the interview going, you fucking have, because we're watching you week in, week out, mate. Like, but in his head, is that why that worries you slightly a little bit, that he might still turn around and be like, no, they're not paying me enough, or Trabzonspor's too low for me, or do you think this deal will go through now?
I'm just happy to see him go. That's the biggest thing. And look, he came up to Amorim and he asked for a new contract. Basically, he has presented him a new contract to view. So, personally, again, the fact that first of all, the way we've coined the term bomb squad, and then ONANA being one of these guys in it. I just think that, from what I've seen this season, I think Bayern is ahead of the pecking order in front of him, at least, by the looks of it. And I think that, you just need to clear it out. That there is nothing more to say.
Sorry, Shreyas. I'll let you get back to your point, I promise you, in a minute.
Yeah.
We was asking before, I was thinking, who's Mr. Bean? It's like who's the metaphor or the comparison that you're doing? And he's just put Mr. Bean, the famous actor. I know who Mr. Bean is. I'm on about who are you comparing him to? The player. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Johnny not English.
Yeah, Johnny not English. Sorry, Shreyas.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go on.
Yeah, but basically, I think it was time that he had to be phased out from the team. And he has had enough opportunities and time in this team to actually, make it, at least, fill us with confidence of the team, with confidence that he can do a job for us.
Yeah.
But it's been, 3 years now that he has been in the team, or 2 years
Feels
or more?
like longer.
Yeah. And
Too long.
I cannot look at a game and go, yes, I've been confident because of ONANA in that game. So it's good that, you're getting rid of these guys, because you wouldn't want, whatever he's carrying to spread to Le Mans. So
contagious.
Yeah. Before he comes in, just get him out.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Why do you think Amorim's waited though until pre-season or new season to drop him? Because he had every chance last season. Do you think maybe the boat was already fucking capsizing, so he didn't want to rock it anymore? Or what's your thoughts on that, Adam? Because it's weird. He just stuck with him, didn't he? And then we've seen pre-season, and then start the season, it's like, yeah, Altay's number one. Boom, done.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I know Altay had that good game against Arsenal in the Cup where we knocked them out, but he got injured, I think, quite badly after. And so he was taken out of the fray, and maybe he never really, got up to that level. I don't know what level. Honestly, the bar isn't that high from when ONANA was starting ahead of him. But I think they're reacting now because they had to react too late, and I don't think a goalkeeper was a priority. And I said it was a priority maybe a month and a half ago. I was hoping we get someone in earlier, because it's already cost us the cup competition realistically, and we don't have that many competitions at the moment. Yeah. So I like a good cup run. I do. It's something to get excited about, and I know we haven't really. Well, we've had that over the last couple of seasons, but we haven't necessarily had a good run in the league. But now we can focus on that. But it is a bit of a weird choice that he kind of went with ONANA at the end of the season, but especially the final. I was actually quite surprised about the final. I thought now would be an all right time to play Altay, because he hasn't necessarily made a big mistake. Meanwhile, ONANA, I think up to that point he had made one or two. After that Arsenal game towards the Spurs Europa League final. So I would have preferred to have seen him, and then for me, he should have saved that goal. Was it the Rogers goal, or not Rogers, what's his name? Brennan Johnson, wasn't it? Yeah. He should have saved that. And I'm kind of not fully surprised that he's kind of started the season with Altay. Out of the two, I think Altay's the better shot stopper. They both have pretty much some of the same weaknesses as well. And now what I'm seeing is you brought in a goalkeeper. I must say, I haven't actually looked, I'll be honest. Is he taller than both? Because a presence in the box. Yeah, Le Mans.
Yeah, Le Mans is like 6'5", 6'4".
Oh, okay. Well, finally we have someone tall in the box anyway. So, like, hopefully, like, he can catch a ball from a corner because, like, it's clear, like, every team we come up against, they target that. You see it every single game, put it on top of the keeper, he'll palm it in or something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, he had to go. He had to go. He had no choice at this point, and I think he sees that as well. I don't know if have they qualified or did have to do the qualifiers for the World Cup.
Who? Turkey? You're on about?
Or no?
Cameroon.
It's Cameroon. Cameroon, yeah.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't know. No
because
idea.
I'm guessing like he has to play regularly if he wants to play in the international team. So, like, that's my guess that he sees no other option. Otherwise, he's not going to play. Given that we're not even in the Carabao Cup anymore, so there's no choice, no chance for him.
Yeah, Shreyas, I was speaking about this the other day. I was on BBC Manchester, and the way I described our kind of recruitment process, and even Chelsea's to a certain extent, when you look at like who they've got in there, it's like we've gone out and done all of our shopping. Say you're getting an outfit for the day or whatever, we've gone and bought a t-shirt, a coat, socks, a few other things. But we're still going out in a pair of underpants, like with no pants on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a really crucial item that we need, but we didn't buy it. Simply, probably because we couldn't afford it. I know we got Le Mans in, but I'm saying like there could have been a bigger investment in that kind of area, considering it's so important. So it's never good in general speaking terms when you don't have stability in that position. Because I can't, other than Chelsea, I can't think of any of the other big clubs who have any kind of question marks over their goalkeeper. Like, they seem like they know who the number one is, and they play pretty much week in, week out. Whereas with us now, we don't know if it's going to be Le Mans or if it's going to buy. Would it shock you if it was Bayern for a bit, for a good few months, and then Le Mans? Like, I don't know. But you thought he might start as well, right? In Le Mans in the derby.
Yeah, I think he's going to be coming into the team quite strongly because, again, when I describe, how Onana or Bayern actually, be, as a goalkeeper, those newborn kids when they first get into a pool the first time and they start just doing like this. This is what they do every single time we are at a set piece or a corner kick or something like that. So I think that it would be better to start Le Mans because it is very, very difficult to go below the standard that Onana has set and Bayern has set. It is very, very difficult. Like, it is going to take something completely, like extraordinary talent.
You'd have
to break that sort of barrier.
Ridiculously shit, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Below them.
Yeah. Like, he's kicking the ball, he falls over the ball, it goes back as an whole goal. That is the kind of talent that we need to be worried about if that needs to happen. But I'm optimistic that this is going to work out because distribution-wise, I know that he's not that great, but what matters to me more right now is that, we need a shot stopper. We genuinely do. And I think in that category, when it comes to young keepers, he's in the top 5 or top 10 when it comes to, shot stopping in Europe for the past season. So those are good metrics to have, especially in a team where, you will expect a lot of shots coming in, especially in the Prem.
Yeah, 100%. Question to you both, and a question to the chat as well, and I'll get back into the comments in a second. Please do leave a like on the video for us. Where does Andre Onana rank in terms of goalkeepers that Man United have had? Now, I know there's different variables to this because there's ones that have come in as second choice goalkeepers, different periods of the game, some under Fergie, some under different managers. Like, there's context to it, right? I understand that. But I'm trying my best not to have this kind of recency bias because obviously it's what we all remember first when we think about Onana, all the mistakes that he's made. But for me, he's got to be one of the worst goalkeepers I think we've ever had.
Ever.
Is that an overstate? Like, is that overdoing it? Or
if you look at, if taking recency bias aside as well, if you look at the last 10 to 15 years, De Gea has been a much, much better keeper than Onana has been, especially for a majority chunk of his career. Sergio Romero was an incredible number 2 keeper to have. And I think, again, he was much, much better than Onana. And these two, I think, practically covered a major section of the last 10 years of Manchester United. And for the brief time that even Dean Henderson was in net for us, he was better than Andre Onana and Bayern as well. So goalkeeping department wasn't as big of an issue for us, I think in the past decade or so. It has only come through now because again, I really don't know what keeper I could put up as a conversation to Onana, because the sort of mistakes that he's made, in the Champions League, I think again in some capacity he cost Ten Hag his job as well.
Yeah.
But looking at it, has there been a goalkeeper that has made this many errors? Like, I can't think. Like, you have Roy Carroll, okay? I know he had that incident against Spurs, but it didn't count as a goal as well. But it was like, it was a big thing at the time. Was it Bosnich? Was that his name as well?
Mark Bosnich, yeah.
Yeah, Bosnich, another one. Barthez. Like, I don't even think Barthez is this
but
bad.
he didn't make the level of Onana what he did. Nowhere fucking near it.
Like, I remember, was that Sevilla? Was it the semi-final? De Gea came running out, missed the ball.
Yeah,
and you're like
trapping the ball with his foot.
Yeah. This goalkeeper makes too many mistakes. We have to let him go. And like, when you look back at it, I don't think to the level, the amount, every game you're expecting an error from Onana or buying there at this point, particularly Onana. So I don't think it's like, recent biasm or this kind of thing where, like, emotions are quite high right now. I genuinely think has to be one of the worst. And like maybe what Matic said last season, the worst in United's history, potentially. He's just made too many errors. Way too many errors.
Yeah.
I can't think of any goalkeeper in that.
That's the most painful thing, in it. The errors specifically. It just lets you down so much as a team. When imagine running your ass off, and me and Shreyas lightly touched on this yesterday, running your ass off for 90 minutes, you're in a really close game, equal, and you're like, right, we can either get a point out of this, we could probably go nick a win, or the momentum shifting towards that kind of angle. And then he does some clown thing where he shoot, like, remember the Gibbs White one against Nottingham Forest?
Oh, that annoyed me.
Straight down the middle, and it goes past him. You can't trust a goalkeeper if you're doing that in a game.
Both those games, even more than Grimsby, the game that disappointed me the most when I lost a lot of faith in that guy was that game against Galatasaray.
Yeah, that was
where Ziyech took. And I was just looking at it and going, why isn't he even diving or he doing anything?
Twice.
And every set piece is in the same game.
That was the worst thing about it. It was the
and
same free kick twice.
He conceded a penalty with Casemiro getting a red.
Yeah. And
but there's also the one thing. He's so unorthodox what he does as well. Like, he throws two hands at it like this. And like, those days are done. Like, you get a longer reach by throwing that arm over rather than here. Yeah. Like, people don't realize that he goes with two hands, and it's so unorthodox, his style. Like, I don't know what style he has now. I don't even know what the goalkeeper coaches are doing. I'm kind of annoyed with them that they haven't pointed that out, because, like, okay, I wasn't professional. I'm not saying that. I went to and got trained as a goalkeeper, and we were told, go with the far hand, because you get more of a reach. And you see David De Gea doing that, and he was one of the best shot stoppers, I think, in terms of world goalkeeping in the last decade. Yeah, and like, he had that technique, and Onana just doesn't do that. Never has. That's why I call him T-Rex hands. The little hands. He just throws them like this.
Yeah, and never seen Onana use his legs to actually stop a ball ever for a shot, ever. And most of the goalkeepers, like top goalkeepers, use that technique a lot to cover their near post. And I can count almost 50 to 60 goals that we've conceded from the near post every single time, just because he's standing like this.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find a picture video. I saw a clip on X yesterday, I think it was, of the warm-up that Onana was doing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I don't know. I might have deleted the clip. I'm not entirely sure. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, it was such an Onana warm-up. It's hard to describe. I'll try and get the clip up in a minute, and I'll send it in to you so you can have a watch, and for the viewers as well. But yeah, I think it's about time that he goes out on loan. Like, when we talk about Ten Hag signings, oh my goodness me, and how much they've killed this club. Some of the players that he's brought in and the money that's been spent, it just goes to show that it's prime evidence why you should never solely let the manager
decide on the signings.
Decide all the signings. There has to be a collaboration from both parts, because
that's why Leverkusen done what they done.
Exactly.
They're like, don't let him.
Yeah, he comes in and he's like, "Oh, do you want to bring Anthony Højlund in?" And they're like, "Do we fuck? No, mate. No, we don't. We don't want to do that."
Get Onana in as well. Again, and one thing that I've learned from this entire tenure of past 3 to 4 years is never trust a goalkeeper who puts Vaseline on his gloves.
Yeah. I remember we found out. I actually remember when it was me, Adam, and Sam that went live when we signed Onana. I remember at the time, it was like breaking transfer news when we went live, right? And we was buzzing.
Oh,
It was like, and it's weird, isn't it, in hindsight, that you never really, truly know
no.
what you're gonna get with the signing, genuinely. And when he's coming, he was like, "Oh, this is a modern goalkeeper, incredible with his feet, exactly what we need nowadays for Ten Hag's play out from the back." He had the best Champions League campaign for Inter Milan, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. That was what was being said at the time. Fast forward 2 years or whatever it's been, he's one of the worst goalkeepers easily in the Premier League, and that's not hyping it. That is factual. He is genuinely one of the worst goalkeepers in the league for what he's done at this club. And to move on from him, even though it may be a loan, it might not be a full sign-in, I'm telling you now, it can only be a good thing because he has been fucking awful. Genuinely awful. So, yeah, let's get back into the comments and then we can continue the show.
I don't think you want.
Right, let me read. This window keeps giving Grimsby was the last chance most likely for Onana. Andrew Onana has agreed to join Trabzonspor contract negotiations with Onana's representative. Gone. Romano got the double eyes. Looks to be happening. You'd have to be he'd have to be blind and missing a hand to be the worst goalkeeper at Man United below them two. Worst in history. Reasons are so clear for me. He replaced the best goalie of the season prior in De Gea, our most expensive goalie signing ever, and the amount of money it cost us in Europe. What happened to Onana, though, from Champions League finalist, Golden Glove winner, to a sausage? Whoa, okay. Okay.
That's the one that got me.
That was the sharp handbrake that I stopped myself then finishing. That Leon first game solidified his legacy, had a stinky attitude pre-match by dissing Leon, got told by Matic he was crap, and made an error in the 96th minute, costing us a huge away win. And Charlie's saying they get Onana out this window is a 9 for me. Yeah, took it from a 7 to a 9 for everyone. I think we can collectively say as Man United fans that we're happy he's going out on loan. I needed to. Best of luck to Biscuit Wrist in Turkey, says Phobos Taco Man. Yeah, if anyone would like to get the commiserations in the comments section to Onana, you want to pay a tribute, be my fucking guest. We are going to slightly move the conversation on, though, because there's a couple of things that we want to talk about. So, again, we had a report coming in before, because obviously we play Man City in a week's time, and Mason Mount and Mateus Cunha are kind of 50-50 if they're going to be involved in that game. But I just wanted to ask, Adam, how important do you think these two players are going to be for the derby, if they are in fact available, and would you start them both in that game?
He seems to be going with the both of them when you've been looking at the last couple of games. I've been quite surprised that Mount has been picked consistently, but he has probably been one of the better players that we've had. Yep. His intensity, his pressing up front, and I'm actually glad to see it. I just hope that this injury, it doesn't seem to be as bad as what we first thought. I thought maybe it was a tactical change that time, but I wasn't expecting it to be an injury when he went off at halftime against Burnley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think having the option of both is going to be really, really good. It's particularly that City team. I think they're there to be beaten. I don't think they're that great again. They look more or less the same what we saw last season, I think. They're not this kind of giant. They're not coming up against, Liverpool at the moment. Liverpool seem to be that. They are the team, I suppose, that everyone's trying to catch up on now. But Man City, they're there to be beaten. And we've done it even in our worst period. Our worst period, we've beaten them. And having those options up front is going to be massive. It will be. If we don't, you're going to probably see the likes of maybe Bruno starting on that left 10 position. Potentially it could be. And you never know, that could be a positive because people have said they don't want them in midfield, get them more involved up front. I don't know, but I'd rather honestly have the headache of having multiple choice. I think it's good to have multiple choice. And given what both players have brought so far, I know results haven't gone our way. But looking at the stats, shots, expected goals, everything, our stats are up there. We should be up there. We're underperforming by obviously not putting it in the back of the net. Who's our top goal scorer this season? Own goals? Is this?
Yeah, I think so.
So, look, I prefer to have the headache. I'm hoping both are available because both have been really, really good for us this season. And it's only a matter of time, I think, before we get results. people get a bit emotional. Obviously, it's a results business, but I've seen clear improvement, and I disagree with what Gary Neville has said. More or less the same last season. It isn't the same. So, like, I hope the manager has that headache, and he's probably hoping so too. But we'll find out now. How long do we have? We have about a week. A week before, I suppose, to figure out whether they're going to be in the squad or not. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. We spoke about Bruno being a bit more advanced last night, Shreyas, but what do we do with the midfield then? Who are you going to deploy in there? We're seeing, for example, Mainu put a little cryptic thing out on Instagram. Did you lads see this?
Yeah.
The whiplash thing. Again, I don't know if you've seen the film, but it'll make sense if you have seen the film. Loads of people over-egged that, in my opinion, for what was going on. But who would you play in that midfield and why against City?
I think it has to be Casemiro and Mainu, considering the options that you've got, because that's the only way you can accommodate that midfield, because there's no way you can start Ugarte in that game. Like, honestly, there is no way you can start with Ugarte in that game. And the only options you're pretty much left with are Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, because besides that, you've not really got any other midfielder to come in and do a job for you, unless, Amorim does something completely different and put someone like Mazraoui in midfield. So the only options, I think, who could do a job for you are Casemiro and Mainoo. And I think Mainoo looked good against Burnley when he came on in that second half. So